Overcoming Depression Part 7. Tips and Tricks 1 through 4. Subscribe and stay tuned for the rest. Hey guys, so after 6 videos in this Overcoming Depression series, I am finally giving you some tips and tricks to help you through it. Just like in the last video, I am picking up right where I left off. So if you haven't seen the last one and all the other ones before that, I hope you check it out now. Without further ado, here we go.
You create what you feel and you can make what you want real. There is a way to make the change. It cannot wait another day.
The first thing that I did and that you can do is journaling. And there's a couple ways to go about this. The first way, of course, is the standard, just get all the crap thoughts in your head on the page. And that is surprisingly helpful. It may not feel like it because it's like I'm just writing down things that I don't want to think about, much less write and read about. But the thing with journaling is it actually can really help give you perspective on whatever is bothering you. Because typically when we're dealing with depression, we're not just depressed about the one thing that happened. We're depressed about the story that we have told ourselves and built off that one thing. That's what we're depressed and afraid of. For example, when I make a video and it doesn't do so well, and I start getting in my thoughts about that, I start getting, feeling very depressed, feeling very down on myself. I'm not just focused on the fact that this video didn't do very well. That's where it started. But that's not where it ended because, the video didn't do well, which means I'll never be able to be successful on YouTube, which means I'll never be able to make income through what I want to do, and I'll never be able to free myself from this matrix, and I'll fail, and I'll have to get a job in retail when I'm like 50 and have kids, and I'm gonna hate my life, and it just goes to this like whole thing that's like, we're nowhere near, like, that's not even like, what? Where did that come from? It's not at all what is happening. The only thing that is happening is that one video didn't do well. Nothing. That doesn't mean any of the other things that I said, but my brain goes into overdrive and starts just thinking of worst case scenario and making up all these make-believe connections in my mind. And that is what just really does a number on you. So if you're able to journal and get out what is bothering you, you can see it on the page in front of you. And something about being able to see it and digest it just helps you to kind of realize, so it's just this thing that's messed up. Not all these other things I'm telling myself, those aren't true. That's not what's happening here. This one thing happened. And you're able to kind of see it with a new perspective. And if you're able to see it with a new perspective, you're going to tell yourself a different story about it. And you're no longer going to feel those negative emotions about it because you're able to see what is actually happening and not the nightmare that your brain is telling you. And another thing we can do with journaling is affirmations, which is my second thing you can do. And in my opinion, one of the most life-changing things that I did. And yes, affirmations sound so cheesy, right? Yeah. No, they are godsend, man. Because we don't realize all the negative thoughts that we're telling ourselves because they're on autopilot. We're not aware of them. We're just kind of listening and agreeing and being like, yep. And we don't realize where they're stemming from, but they're stemming from the beliefs that we are unlovable, we are not enough, we are undeserving, we are unworthy, we are not meant to be successful, we are not meant to be happy. All of these different beliefs are where they're coming from. So if we want to change the beliefs, we need to change what we're telling ourselves. And the best way to do that is to write it down every single day. I have an entire journal, right? It's so pretty though, right? An entire journal where I have written so many cheesy, life-changing affirmations where I just write in there every day, I am enough. I am loved. I am worthy. I am deserving. I am worthy and deserving of love. I am worthy and deserving of success. I am worthy and deserving of happiness. And yeah, those things sound cheesy, but can you honestly tell me that you believe them, that you truly believe that you're enough, that you truly believe that you're lovable, that you truly believe that you are deserving of the life that you want? Can you honestly tell me you really believe those things about yourself? Probably not. Most of us don't, and that's okay, but it's not okay to not fix it because it's not hurting anyone else but you. So affirmations can split that connection that we have made, can rewrite those beliefs and rewrite those constant pattern of our negative thoughts. Affirmations will disrupt that pattern. And yes, when you are first writing down in your journal, I am enough, I am loved, you're gonna feel a little dumb. And you're not going to believe yourself. And that is what we want to pay attention to. The fact that you don't believe yourself when you're writing this. When you are writing, I am loved, and you have the sponsoring thought, as nicknamed in Conversations by God, in that wonderful book. And these sponsoring thoughts are what tell us how we truly feel about ourselves. For example, if you write down, I am loved, and then you have the sponsoring thought that, no, I'm not, that is what you truly believe. That thought sheds light on the subconscious belief that you currently hold. So yeah, as you're going through this, you're going to have these sponsoring thoughts, you're going to have these conflicting thoughts that are telling you the opposite, and that's what we need to fix. That is the biggest cause of your depression, is that you don't believe that you are worthy of happiness. You don't believe that you're worthy of overcoming your depression. So write these affirmations down and pay attention to how you feel as you're writing them. Write these affirmations down every day until the sponsoring thought is, yes, I am. And if you're depressed right now, that may seem way too far off and far-fetched, but it's not. It's really not. But you need to start. You need to start shifting those thoughts. You need to start rewriting your new mental programming, because if not, you're just going to keep repeating the old, no, my programming malfunctioned. Or else you're just going to keep repeating the old one, which has been giving you the same emotions and the same results in your life over and over and over again. So change your thoughts, change your beliefs, and do that by writing affirmations every single day. Here is a list of the affirmations that I have personally used in my life. Take a screenshot, whatever you gotta do, but keep these affirmations and write them down every single day. And I promise you, you will see a dramatic change in your life. And maybe you don't have the motivation to write them out every day. Maybe you just want to read them every day. And that's fine. Read them out loud every single day. You will still see a difference, okay? Affirmations. Do them. Do that. Another great thing to do with affirmations, instead of writing them out, because not all of us have time to do that every day, and not all of us have the motivation to do it, especially if we're struggling with depression. So another thing you can do with affirmations is just listen to them. And you don't have to actively listen to affirmations. That is the beautiful thing about affirmations, is that they actually work better when you're not focused on them, when you are doing something else and letting it just seep into your subconscious, because that's where we want these new beliefs to be anyway. There are all sorts of affirmations online on YouTube for free that you can listen to, and you can play these. You can make a playlist of these and have them go while you are sleeping. I do this every night. I do not go to bed without my affirmations playing out loud. My boyfriend hates it, but I don't care, because they are that important. So you can play them while you are sleeping, you can play them while you are driving, you can play them while you're watching TV. Maybe you can I play them from, my apartment's very small. I play my affirmations from the TV in the bedroom, and I'm watching TV in the living room, and I can still hear the affirmations. It's not what I'm focused on. I'm focused on what I'm watching on TV. But my subconscious then has the time to just take all of those affirmations that I'm listening and just implant them into my brain. And over time, that will impact your thoughts. So if you do not have the motivation or desire to write affirmations, that is completely understandable, and I get you. That's fine. Listen to them instead. Listen to them as often as you can. I try and have affirmations playing 24/7 if I can. That's not always feasible, but I do try it as often as possible because I know how important my subconscious thoughts are. They are the cause of your depression, and they can be what pulls you out of it as well. Another thing you can do to help rid your depression and overcome it is meditating. And I know many of us are either big fans of meditating or we absolutely hate it, and we're like, why does everyone keep talking about meditating? I can't do it. I don't get it. I don't want to do it. It's so helpful. It's so helpful, guys. And the thing about meditating is there's so many different ways to do it. If you are a beginner and you think that you need to sit in like crisscross applesauce with your spine straight up in complete silence for 30 minutes to an hour, no, you don't have to do that. I don't do that. I've been meditating for years and I don't do that because it's difficult. And if something's difficult, I'm not gonna do it. Yeah, I'm lazy like that. I'm not going to do it. If it sounds daunting, no. I'm all about finding the easier way. And meditating, there's so many different ways to do it. You can do a 2 to 3 minute guided meditation laying down in your bed. So basically, you're just sitting there with headphones on, breathing for 3 minutes. If you can't handle that, I don't know what to tell you. And you will see a difference. You will. It gives you an opportunity to slow down and to really pay attention to the thoughts that you're having. You don't need to control them. That is a big misconception with meditating, is that you need to control your thoughts. Yes, the very skilled yogi will be able to do that. But the biggest thing is observing your thoughts and seeing what is going on in your head, and just watching your thoughts, just listening to them, just observing them. That's all you have to do. You don't have to control your thoughts. You don't have to do all these things that people say you need to do when you meditate. You just don't. And one reason why I personally love meditation is because I like to use it to manifest. I like to spend that time every day if I can, in silence, listening to someone guide me. I always do guided meditations because they're easy. Sometimes I won't, but more often than not, I do guided meditations. They're easy. That's what I would recommend. But I will listen and have someone else guide me and give me the opportunity every single day, if I can, to visualize the life that I want to create and feel the emotions of having that life. Because the more often you are able to think about the life that you want and feel the emotions in a positive way of that coming to you and feeling gratitude for that, you are going to pull that towards you, because that's what you're sending out. That's what you're focusing on. Right now, if you're focusing on how miserable you are, that's all you're sending out. And guess what? That's all you're getting back. So that is one reason why I use meditation as often as I can, so that I can consciously focus and put out the thoughts and emotions and life that I want to bring in for myself. So meditating can help bring you closer to the life that you want, instead of you being stuck in your depression and only allowing yourself to see the life that you think you're stuck with. Meditation allows you that chance to see things as wonderful as they could be. And yes, it can be challenging at first, because you're going to try and imagine yourself in this beautiful place feeling these wonderful emotions, And that depression is going to come back in and be like, that's not gonna happen. That's not how it's gonna work out. Like, no, you're not meant for that. You're destined to be a loser. Come on, get real. And you're gonna have to fight that for a little while. But the more often that you continue on your new focus with your meditation and continue putting out what it is you want instead of focusing on all the things that you don't want, that voice is going to get quieter and quieter because it's not being fed as much. If you are always feeding your depression, it is always going to come back. It is like a stray cat. If you feed it, it will come back. If you stop feeding it, it will stop coming back. And I know, again, easier said than done, but that is why we start small and start feeding instead the thoughts that we want to see more of, the emotions we want to feel more of. It's all about that shift, and it takes time when you're stuck thinking of all the things you don't want to happen and you're stuck feeling all the emotions that you don't want to feel. It takes time to slowly shift into that new direction. But with consistency, it is totally possible. So meditation, visualize the life that you want so that you are more likely to bring that in instead of being stuck visualizing and thinking about all the things you don't want and then bringing those ones in instead. You can also, as I mentioned a little bit earlier, watch other people on YouTube or on Spotify through their podcast. Wherever it is you are able to receive that information, watch and listen to others who have overcome depression and hear what they have to say. You're not going to want to implement everything they do. You're not going to believe or resonate with everything they say, but there will be certain things that you can take away and add to your own life. So watch as many people as possible. That is one of the first things I did because I didn't know how to motivate myself. I couldn't motivate myself to journal or to meditate or write affirmations. I couldn't motivate myself to do any of that. So instead, I started by watching others who could and allowing their thoughts to kind of start seeping into my own mind because that's what I was absorbing. Whatever you are continually watching, that's going to affect how you're feeling. So if you're always watching things that are depressing and listening to music that is depressing, that is going to have an impact on your subconscious mind, and it is more likely going to leave you feeling depressed because that's what you are absorbing as information. So instead, absorb those who have what you want and allow their thoughts to instead start seeping into your mind to move you away from the direction you don't want to be in and move you toward the one you do want to be in. Some people that I watched were Marisa. She is a wonderful therapist. She is incredible. I highly recommend her, and I recommend both of her books that I have read. I think she has a few. I've only read 2, Ultimate Confidence and I Am Enough, Mark Your Mirror, Change Your Life. They really are life-changing. I have I Am Enough on my mirror right now. So she really is life-changing. She is wonderful. She is much more experienced in dealing with this than myself. So I would highly recommend her because she is where I got a ton of my information from. She is the best. Another resource is Mind Valley. Mind Valley you can find here on YouTube. They have their own little program as well, but you can find a lot of great free information on YouTube. And they really have helped me not only overcome depression, but then start to manifest a life that I wanted, so I wasn't staying stuck in my depression because I was living a life I didn't want to live. So I would check them both out if you're looking for more people to help you. These are just a couple resources that I have personally used, but feel free to just search people who talk about depression and find anyone that works for you. Like I said, Marisa is wonderful, but if you don't like her for whatever reason and you find someone who works better for you, listen to them. It doesn't matter where you get your information from, as long as you're getting it from people that genuinely want to help you. So watch others. If you don't have the motivation to do anything, watch others and allow them to help you by just slowly shifting your thoughts and your focus. Subscribe and stay tuned for finally the last video in my super long Overcoming Depression series, where I give you my final tips and tricks 5 through 10 and a few words of encouragement as we move on from this. I hope you have enjoyed all of my other videos up until that point, and I am looking forward to seeing you in the next and final video of Overcoming Depression.
You dictate where your mind goes, you decide how your life flows, you're the guide. Don't delay, it cannot wait another day.
That is a big misconception with manifestation, okay? With meditating.